away from streaming. But the work must go on. That's the end of this shitty alcohol. So, today we are going to be playing Automatic Messiah. It's already got some funky jams for the menu music. Pretty groovy stuff. Some of that like 80s synthwave stuff that's been in the zeitgeist for longer than the 80s. Anyways, so yeah. The plan today is we're just gonna be playing this. This game. Some fun facts about this game. This is WooTBM. Is It Trash? This is his game that he's been working on. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Actually, that's kind of it for the fun facts that I know about it. There's a lot of different cool stuff that I've seen from his development vlogs. Whatever else, I don't know. It seems like an interesting game that has two things from what I've seen watching it. A little bit of hacky kind of jank solutions to some things. So we'll see how much that bleeds through into the gameplay. And number two, it has a lot of moving parts. Like, there's a lot of complexity to the game. And I think I had mentioned to him before that I think it's going to be difficult to tutorialize a lot of that stuff. So I guess we're going to find out. I mean, because that's based off of just what I've seen, but not actually, you know, played, because I'm playing it now. So, haven't even actually done anything. I've just launched the game, and that's it. Also, I should mention to WooTBM, which I'm certain is going to watch this stream, I downloaded this basically immediately when it became available. I meant to tell you that you should tell me that if you updated at all during the, you know, between the week that you uploaded it and when I started playing it, is that you should tell me. But I was busy, I forgot, so oh well. This is a week-old build. I don't know if there's any updates between when I downloaded it and now, so maybe I might run into some stuff that you've already patched. Who knows? Let's take a look at the options. I don't know how I did that. I think I accidentally pushed E. Right on. Let's give it a little refresh there. Yeah, it does have WASD. I'm not really sure what I did to cause that. My hand was not on WASD. I set it down on my keyboard and I kind of fat fingered the keys. So I think I pressed something. There it is. I did push E. Hang on. Oh, whoa, it's just doing it like I was just pushing S. Huh. It's like when I go down to... Was that one of the known problems? It seems like when I scroll down to... Yeah, when I scroll down to General, maybe one of your options in the options core has not been set up correctly, so it's crashing. Yeah. So it seems like whenever I try to scroll down to General. Oh yeah, because I think I'd moused over it there. One more time. Sorry, I didn't mean to mouse over it. So here's my keyboard. I'm going to push the S key, which is right here. Might be a little bit small on your screen, but just trust me, that's the S key. And there it is. Bumped into the microphone there for a moment, so sorry if you heard some brushing. A little ASMR for you. What a shame. Can't really check the options because they're busted. Before anything, let me just double check to make sure that this is a known issue. Oh gosh, I don't have it opened. Let me just go to games in development. Automatic Messiah. Alright, there we go. We have it. Alright, so known issues. Some placeholder AI art still in use. Frame rate drop when changing scenes. Equipment UI does not show appropriate info. Player names can be longer than UI allows. I'm going to take advantage of that. Okay. So yeah. Oh, right. I didn't mean to do that. I forgot that's... Alright, let's just jump into a new game. Space J, enter. Left click to interact, accept. Escape K. Escape? Okay, I see. It's just a list of all the different choices. Okay. Walls are keys to move your character and around in menus. You can also click on the ground to move or click on items in the menu. Controller is not recommended at this time. Let me bring up OBS so I can check volumes and all that. I think it's a little bit on the quiet side. What you select... Choose the difficulty. What you select will not add or remove content from the game. No awards or achievements will be denied based on your choice. You can also change the difficulty in-game at any time. Please consider this and make your choice purely based on what sounds most enjoyable to you. Casual, meant for gamers who want to only focus on the story. Normal, intended for most gamers. You will still need to think tactically and use your skills. Tactical, pick this if you want to plan every turn and learn the nuance of combat. I'm going to put it on normal, because I know there's not actually a recommended, but normal is usually kind of like the... basically what everything's been balanced around, right? Status, startup completed. Where am I? Who am I? Be calm, my creation. I'm sorry that consciousness is always such a burden. Take it slow. You are a synthezoid I have built. Beyond that, why don't you tell me who you are? So I'm gonna go ahead and take advantage of a running joke on someone else's YouTube channel who's much more popular than me, and of course, we have to do There we go. Or press the arrow keys to switch to manual character entry. That's cool that you provide that option, but that's weird. I guess if anyone ever has a controller, then that would be fine. Interesting choice, yes. It's what came to mind. It's what came to mind. I think I know who I am and who you are, somehow. Why can't I see? I'll be your eyes for now. This is your chassis, your body. You have been designed to look similar to a species called human. A little pale, could use a little bit more sun, though. However, you are intentionally built to look more robotic to avoid causing feelings of deception. You are more than a robot, though. More than an android, too. You are a biomechanical sapient being. You are an incredibly sophisticated machine, able to learn and adapt in many ways. I like your placeholder. I have also outfitted you with hidden destabilizer. Sorry, I missed the A there. With a hidden destabilizer. For self-defense, far beyond the abilities of anything you'll encounter. Hopefully you'll never have to use it. I like that placeholder is there, especially for, like, streaming, because you know there are gonna be some dumbfuck streamers, myself included in that group, by the way, that'd be like, what the fuck is this jank-looking art? Man, why the fuck would you use that art? Aren't you gonna fucking replace that? Looks terrible. What are you doing? What's wrong? But, you know, now it just makes the streamer look like a fool if they start going off like that when there's the big, like, Arial font text there with the red P and the red H placeholder. Was I built like this? Here. This is the planet that the inhabitants call Earth. You were designed to live here. We're already speaking in their language. Pardon, Father, but what about this planet? Where am I now? I'm sorry. It's best you know nothing of us or our ways. Earth is quite different from here. You must remain ignorant so as to keep yourself unbiased. It seems like the implication is that here is preferable. We found that preference is strongly influenced by one's origins, hence why we've decided a blank slate works best for our ambassadors. Allow me to elaborate. Oh, okay, there's your PH. I see. That's why you highlighted the red and the H. So now whenever you see PH, you know, it doesn't stand for pretty huge, fill in the blank. It stands for placeholder. There's definitely some AI art. What's going on with this dude's face? What is that guy doing? What is this? I mean, if you kind of just, like, cover up the people and you're just looking at the skyscrapers, well, and you, like, squint your eyes. Okay, you cover up the people and you squint your eyes and you're like, oh, yeah, that's pretty, that's all right. You get some funky, like scaffolding reaching across, and some of the buildings look a little teeter-tottery, wibbly-wobbly, you know, kind of thing. But anyways, Earth has concluded what they call World War III. Based on our research, we believe this has allowed them to eliminate the remaining holdouts of their worst primitive habits. In the years after the war, societal and technological progress has finally been allowed to flourish. According to our estimates, they will achieve or be near achieving lightspeed into intragalactic travel by the time we would be able to arrive at their planet. How far away are they? 124.14785 light years. Thanks for the arrow. I wasn't... You know, I wasn't quite sure what 124.14785 light years was until you drew the arrow from an arbitrary point in space to another arbitrary point in space. I may as well introduce you. This is your onboard computer. She is your antithesis. You were made to intuit and feel. She was made to calculate and estimate. Hello, computer. She's going to be your companion in this journey. Best you give her a name. Oh, I can give her a name too. Oh no, but I only had one other YouTuber's running gag. I don't have another running gag that I can ape. Although we can just keep the series of letters going. We'll do... Fair enough choice. Father is like... Father's thinking, what kind of fucking idiot we pick for our ambassador? It's basically becoming Invader Zim at this point, right? All the good planets have already been taken, and then there's over there like, ooh, me. And they're like, yes, you will take This planet, Earth. You know, yes, that's anyways, alright. I take it, we'll also have a database on the Earth's history. No? I don't understand this mission. Shouldn't an ambassador know the people he is to gain the trust of? There's some more of that pretty huge. We have no way of knowing what Earth will be like in 124 years from now. Culture is a constantly changing thing. Also, we can't be sure these humans will fully understand the ramifications of this technology. Your mission is to make sure their culture continues to evolve on this positive trajectory. We want to welcome them as an ally to our galactic ensemble, not as a volatile hindrance. Isn't that a bit cynical? Where's the PH? What is this? This is definitely AI generated, and it looks, what the fuck is this? Summarize our intergalactic diplomatic efforts through the years, please. Our newest methods result in more than double the success rate of initial attempts, along with eliminating the worst case scenarios and interplanetary catastrophes. So you see, our methods seem strange to you, and they will surely seem more so to the humans you meet. You must learn of their ways, totally unbiased by our or their history. You must adapt and solve their problems. It is a lot to undertake. Yes, I dread the stress of such an unfair fate I must bestow upon what is essentially a child. I will give it my best, Father. When do I start? Right now. Right now? Primary systems entering sleep mode. Status startup complete. All functions transferring to primary user. Oh, that's me. I like the little rotation there. What? Greetings. I require your assistance. My assistance? Hold on. I apologize, but there is an encroaching human threat. Your expertise is required. Expertise? I don't know how to do anything. Please use your thoughts. Humans will likely find it odd if they see you shouting at yourself. Hiya, Julie, this fucking thing is some kind of jangle robo. Mig, that ain't a robot, some kind of muty cyborg shit. Tall, Mig, fuck off a sec. I can't understand what these people are saying. Caution, threat of violence high. Violence? Violence. So what are you, broken? Bugging out and now you're quiet? Apologies. Julie, was it? That's right. Pleasure to meet you. I'm a... It's not gonna convince him. You just have this fucking dude, this pale ass dude is like, my name's gonna be like, let's fuck him up. Are you a fucking robot? that was his systems glitching out. That's how he knows he's a robot, because his system's glitched out for a moment. It's like Windows fucking up. My name's It reminds me of there's a video of like Mario in like Mario in a microwave or something. I don't know. Mario Wii microwave. I don't know. Yeah, here we go. Hang on. All right. Hang on. Shh. Be quiet. We need to listen to Super Microwave Brothers. So I imagine. Oh, hey, Rat. So I imagine this is what happened. I imagine this is how that scenario played out in my head. That's how the scenario played out in my head is, hi, my name's Oh man. Ooh, this is probably one of the funnest streams I've had, and I've been mostly just talking to myself because of one really fucking dumb joke. Defies, some jangle for us, huh? Excuse me. What you think, boss? Some kinky bullshit, who knows? But I ain't seen a bot that emotes like that. Gotta be worth a heap. Get off. Come along or get doinked, you fucking jerp-ass robot. Stop it! I'm on a diplomatic mission. I'm not here to fight. Shut up, twat. I'll defend myself. I recommend using the destabilizer. Whew. Okay, we can take a moment to catch our breath here. So I do have something to say about the writing. I noticed it right away when the dudes came up. It kind of seems like it's trying to go for its own like futuristic slang. And there's been, I'd say, almost any time that I've seen anyone try to do that, it kind of comes off a little bit cringe, I'm not gonna lie. I think the only place where I've seen people like come up with their own slang that didn't come off cringe, surprisingly, was Cyberpunk. Because they have like a lot of slang that they use in it, but it all feels very natural. It doesn't feel forced. It feels like it could be naturally used slang in the world. And I think a lot of it is like it's extracted from the different cultures, because especially like Mexican American culture. There's a lot of like the Mexican American culture that's influenced like some of the cyberpunk setting in Cyberpunk 2077. So yeah, normally a lot of that like made up slang just is kind of cringe, and I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit here too. The jangle thing, I don't know why, but sounds like it's on the verge of being racist for some reason. I mean, it's completely made up, but I don't know, to me it sounds like it's like something that you shouldn't be saying. I don't know why, but anyways, I don't know. How would I do it? I don't know, cause like, so to reference my own shitty book that I wrote, I didn't use a lot of like futuristic slang that I had made up, but there was a slang term that was made up for my book that I'm fucking impartial, or I'm partial to this. I'm biased because it's obviously my book, but I do feel like it sort of stepped beyond that sort of cringe part, because I was able to make the players like understand it's made up words are squanchy. Yeah, I was able to make readers like understand its meaning, and so when it was used in context, it made sense, and therefore it didn't seem quite so cringe, because it felt like, oh, that's actually part of the world. In this case, it was I'll talk a little bit about my book. There's a race in the book, because it's sci-fi, There's a race of people that are called the Telkin, which, by the way, it's a bastardization of the word Tolkien. And that's because the race itself kind of looks like elves. I know, super creative. But they don't have like the upward pointed ears. They have ears that are down. And so they would have lop ears, right? So as a derogatory term towards Telkins in the book, they would be called lops. So, you know, people would say, fucking lop. And I introduced what a lop is, and that it's a derogatory term towards a certain race. And because I was able to introduce readers to that, I feel like I was able to continue using it without it feeling like just fucking made up shit, you know? So anyways, I don't know. I just, in my opinion, I find the kind of made up slang that was being used by the folks just a little bit on the cringe side. Anyways, it looks like I only have two choices. I remember being told to use the destabilizer. But, I mean, I was told that the name would overlap and cause problems, and so what did I do? I made the name as long as possible. So am I gonna follow directions? No. Please stop, don't make me hurt you. I do not believe they will listen. So what happens if I die during this tutorial? Please stop, don't make me hurt you. Combat is your only option this time. You'll have opportunities to use diplomacy later on. You'll now be repaired to prevent progress loss. I see. Note that this safety feature will not be offered in future encounters. That's cool and lame at the same time. Yeah. So you at least accounted for that. But I don't know. I'm sort of just hoping you'd get like a dumb fake ending, and then I don't know, just reload right back to before the fight started or something. I don't know. Anyways, so destabilize Mig. I'll kill you. I didn't want to do that. Don't make me do it again. Conflict resolved. You piece of shit. They gave me no choice. Warning, battery low. Do not use the destabilizer again. Ugh. Target eliminated. All hostiles neutralized. What is happening to me? What is this feeling? Anger, adrenaline, fear, guilt. Reminder, you can speak to me by thinking. I wasn't talking to you. What the hell was that? And what happened to Earth? The mission. This is Earth. I was keeping you in hibernation while in transport until I was to come in contact with humans of import. Unfortunately, your first contact was with some local thugs. Since human relations are your duty, I woke you to handle it. We'll use sarcasm. Well, I handled that like a real professional, so good call. Are you using sarcasm? Ugh. Now you're awake. Perhaps we should return to base so that I can fully explain our situation. Base? We have a base? Indeed, directly north of here. Oh, that thing just like flew by. You have a new objective. You can check your objective log by pressing default key O. Please allow a moment for the game to create a new save file. Hang on, let me bring up the frame counter. Wow, I'm not even getting the full 140. I shouldn't go this way yet. Oh, okay. Whoa. You just fade to black and push me that way? Interesting. You got a lot of frames on that. Ooh, that is some... That's like some Scooby-Doo runs right there. That's a lot of foot motion for not a lot of... not a lot of forward progress. It's like I got Sonic speed. Whoa! And I can go diagonal too. Man, that arrow is just flying. Look at that burnt corpse. There's a lot of skulls everywhere. Look at all those skulls. That's a skull, that's a skull, that's a skull. There's all these skulls. I wonder if this is the only song he has, besides the main menu theme. Let's give it a listen. How quiet is it for you? Pretty gosh darn quiet. Let's turn that up. So I know this song is constantly playing in the background of his in the backgrounds of his devlogs. It's kind of a cool song, so I understand why he uses it. But I do wonder about the rest of his music. I'm also going to take this opportunity because I know this fool. Look at me. I'm being such a gentleman, supporting my homie. And I watch all his devlogs, even though, you know, I understand they're not the most interesting thing in the world. But I watch them anyways. But this fool only tunes in when I got games to play. Man, that fool. Actually, I'm not 100% sure about that. I think he's actually commented on a rare occasion. On some of my devlog videos. But it's definitely, I don't think he often has much to say. But since I have his attention, because I know he's watching, and he's probably going to be watching this in detail, all the way through, hopefully not skipping around. Buddy, I don't know, a few streams ago, I was showing off a song that was definitely not at all fiddle related. And I was really digging it, and I was like, you know what, this song gives me automatic Messiah vibes. And you know what? If you want me to write a song, if you want to use that song, then tell me so I can finish writing it, and it's yours, buddy. I want to contribute to your project. But you probably don't know what song I'm talking about, and so I would need to bring it up so you could hear it, but not at the moment. Maybe if I remember later. I'm loaded with drinks for tonight. I have the rest of my whiskey here with a whiskey sour, and then I have sparkling sake here to tie me over after we're done with the whiskey. So I may potentially forget to show off that song, but it's okay, buddy. You got my Discord, and you can be like, you were talking about a song, and I'll be like, oh yeah. So anyways, yeah, sorry, not to ignore you, Wrath of Wood. Yeah, I was... Okay, alright. Yeah, I'm actually don't hate the map. I was wondering about the map from some of the screenshots I've seen, looking a little bit barren, but of course it's also supposed to be a wasteland, so of course it needs to be barren, but, you know, it feels sufficiently wasteland. So yeah, I don't know, it's pretty neat. Kind of reminds me of some of the pre-rendered stuff from like the early 90s and 2000s from computer games, especially like Heroes of Might and Magic, especially Heroes of Might and Magic 4, which used like a lot of pre-rendered graphics for their tile set. So yeah, it gives me those kind of vibes. Alright, let's continue the journey. Oh, that was moving really fast. I think I know what's going on. Very land wasted indeed. Where did this come from? Inside your transport pod were hundreds of mini bots. Over the last 3 months, they have excavated this area and converted its materials. 3 months? I did not think it was prudent to wake you up just to wait for your home base to be constructed. It's like Diablo shiz. Yeah, Diablo is another good example. Because I think Diablo 1 and 2 both used like a lot of pre-rendered graphics. You did quite a lot without seeking my orders. This was part of the mission parameters. As was marching my sleeping husk into mortal danger. This is my mission, correct? I am in command, correct. From now on, seek my counsel before you act. Got it? Yes, sir. Good. Now, what the hell happened to this planet? Please walk over to the main console. Okay. Things are moving fast, and I know exactly why. Because I'm pretty sure he's using Yonfly's stuff. I'm going to confirm this. I know some developers are weird about you sniffing around, like, their folders. I don't know why, but if you're one of those people who gets offended by me browsing around your asset folder, then my bad, man. But I bet if we go to... Yep. What is it called? Video sync? Or frame sync? What is it called? I don't remember what this fucking plugin is called, actually. FPS sync. There it is. Yeah, he has an V-Stink. Yeah. This plugin is a fucking lie. I don't know why this plugin exists. It really only creates confusion. And so here's the thing, right? He's using options core, but I can't actually use the options because you were not present at the start of the stream. I can't use the options because it crashes when I go into the options. I imagine it's because he set up a custom option in options core and it was not set up correctly. So when I switch to the general options tab, it just crashes because it's trying to load an improper option choice. That's my guess. So anyways, I cannot actually enable or actually technically disable the FPS sync option. Here is my personal advice on this plugin. It is misleading and it is useless. Basically, if you read the help files, Yonfly even explains its purpose, and it doesn't make any sense to me why anyone would want to do this. Basically, during the very early release of MV, the way that the logic in the engine was handled was tied directly to the frame rate. So, animations and stuff would play as fast as your frame rate would render. However, I think it was in the 1.4 update for MV. I don't know. I wasn't there for it. They actually separated the processing logic from the animation logic, from the video logic. And so now, if you're running at, like me, 140 frames, the animations will still play at 60 frames per second as they're intended, while, you know, the logic will actually operate at that 140 frames. So basically, what FPS sync does is it disables the change in the engine that basically it reverts it back to the 1.4 version or whatever made that change. So now it makes it so that way the logic and the animation speed are tied together. So if I am on a 144 hertz monitor and the game is intended to run at 60 frames per second, I am playing the game at 2 times speed, a little bit above 2 times speed, technically, actually. It's also not really FPS sync either. The name that in the help file, they don't even call it FPS sync. They call it fluid time something, I don't know, which is a weird name that doesn't make sense, but I mean, I guess it makes sense from a technical level or something, I don't know, but it's not FPS sync or VSync, because I think the option in options core calls it VSync, video sync. Either way, it calls it the wrong thing. I had originally renamed it in my game to, fluid time sync or whatever. But then I realized, like, no one should be touching this as an option. There is no reason to go back to this. Yawnfly doesn't even really justify a reason for going back to that old version in the help document either. I don't know why this plugin exists, but people really need to stop using it unless they actually have a compelling reason to use it. And I have not seen a single game that has offered a compelling reason to use this plugin. Just please stop using it. It is just misleading and it causes problems. Do not roll back the engine code. It's as simple as that. Okay. And hello, Mr. Orc. Glad to have you here. So I wonder if playing at 2 times speed is going to cause problems. This is, you can see how these things are compounding onto each other, right? So there's a problem in the options menu, which crashes the game if I try to adjust the options. However, there's an option that I need to disable, but I can't actually disable it to play the game normally because the options menu crashes. So it's kind of like a twofold problem here. Quite a poor experience. I am glad this is just an alpha. Please fix it. It's really hot. Why is it? I'm not hearing the beep. Okay. There we go. All right. The data I've gathered comes from an orbital entry scan and examining our immediate area. Please note, Earth's history from the last 124 years is unobtainable, and there are no radio or wireless transmissions to intercept. What I can tell you is that radiation, likely from nuclear weapons, covers almost the entire planet's surface. What did you do to this, this Earth map? It's a little too red, I think. This has resulted in a cascade of natural disasters everywhere. We are standing in the only inhabitable area, the Eye of the Storm. This area is about 100 square kilometers. The entire human population lives within this zone. Oh, there's our red pH right there. Pretty huge. That seems far too small to fit everyone. The estimated human population of the world before our departure was 10.7 billion. I estimated it's now around 55,000. A decline of 99.9994%. That's a big drop! Yeah, like some Skrillex. What a big drop! Is it even possible for humans to come back from this? In theory, they'll need considerable help from our technology. Alright, so what is our mission? How do we even start? The original parameters are still valid. Meet with the world leaders. How the hell do I do that? Normally you would simply use our communication tech to jack into their network to contact them from here. As I have stated, there is no network to talk to. You will need to meet them in person. So I just walk to the capital and say, take me to your leader. That's the plan. That is an accurate assessment of what I meant. You will also need to find them. I feel very under-equipped to go back out there. I have drawn a similar conclusion and have suggested to arm yourself. More weapons, the destabilizer worked like a charm. It is running at an extreme setting meant to only be used a handful of times. Your mission will likely require many combat encounters over many days. At its current setting, your destabilizer will completely deplete your batteries in 32 hours. I have developed a modification to your weapon system. The energy output will be drastically reduced, but would then become sustainably rechargeable. I will also have a nullifier setting as a non-lethal option. Just be warned that these changes cannot be easily reversed once installed. I have also compiled data on martial arts should you find yourself in hand-to-hand scenarios. That's surely better than flailing about like I did on Dewey. Acknowledged. I will install these combat programs along with weaponry change. Weaponry changes. One last time, many humans use tools to fight rather than their bare hands. I can have the base fabricators craft a melee weapon. Well, I would actually, if I was playing this game seriously, I would probably actually pick the non-lethal option. But the main character's name is and my AI is named so I'm gonna go lethal. Make it sharp so that I can eliminate targets more efficiently. Acknowledged. One moment. I feel more confident now. I have located a building nearby that was formerly a police station. There should be training documents there that I can parse for you to learn how to de-escalate combat situations. Also, a potential opportunity to further expand our arsenal. I'll start there. Is there anything else I can interact with? I think this needs a direction fix or something, because it like blinks very briefly. You can kind of see it on OBS. Those two. That's weird. Also, I can... Wait, is that 2 events or 1 event? It's 2 events. I can activate 2 events at once. Interesting. It's weird that they blink like that. I'm pretty sure that's a direction fix problem. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what that is. I don't know how it blinks like that. Maybe it's... I don't know, but you just tick the direction fix box and it won't... I'm pretty sure it won't do that anymore. Because I captured the game at 30 frames per second and it only blinks for maybe 1 frame, you guys might not actually see it when it happens, but you'll just take my word that it happens. I'm trying to mash it so you can see it. Hopefully I'll catch it like on a 30th frame or whatever. Alright, anyways. Your menu access has been returned. It's a good idea to check your skills and equipment to see how things work in Automatic Messiah. Alright, let's do that. I think I had mentioned this to him before as well. Oh, there we go. Chassis. Eyes assistant. Oh, I didn't get to name the onboard fabricator. I wish I could have named it too. We could have had and so we could have had man. Anyways, I think I mentioned this to him in one of his dev vlogs that he needs to work on UI stuff. I sort of find this UI looking very kind of ugly. I mean, like it works, it's functional, so like it's not like the most important thing, obviously, but I think it would like kind of take his game to the next level if he had some better looking UI. Yeah. Anyways, I would at least like there's a lot of like this window here is so huge. It is gigantic, and I feel like it's totally not necessary to have it that big. I would probably go for like a more center style, like a small center bigger font or something. Yeah, and I think he's running the game at 1080p. So, things start to look a little bit tiny on, you know, it's an engine intended to run at smaller resolutions. So when you knock it up to 1080p, things start to look kind of tiny. But I don't know. I guess on the one hand, it makes things look pretty sharp as well, because of course at even at 720p, things start to look a little bit soft. Anyways, I would kind of like maybe like move this more towards like a almost as if it's like a 720p game. Kind of shift everything down like 33% to be more in the center of the screen here, because I mean having a health bar this long is just looks ridiculous. As ridiculous as my character's name. Actually, my name is less ridiculous than this health bar. My name is only about 3 segments of this bar. So, I don't know. I think I recommended that he uses SRD's super tools, because it has like a window adjustment thing where like you install super tools and then you like just press F9. I think that's the hotkey, right? To bring up his super tools, and there's like a Windows adjust option where you can just like click and drag windows and resize them and whatever. It just makes it such a painless experience to, at least if you're going to use the default RPG Maker draw window method, then it just makes it so much easier to manage those things. If that's the way that you're going to go. That's how I've customized like the windows in my game, is mostly just dicking around with SRD's whatever, super tools. Not HUD Maker, not to be confused with HUD Maker. Now, to use HUD Maker, you have to install super tools in the first place, but you don't need HUD Maker to use the super tools Windows functionality thing. So, anyways, I would recommend playing around with that some. Let's see. No, there's our objective. Tools of the Peacekeeper. From location police station. Find the police station, the southernmost section of the cornea. That's the eye. Oh, I get it, because I think that's what they said. We're like in the eye of the storm or something. I don't know. Attributes. HUD Maker's lit. I actually really don't use it that much. It kind of intimidates me. The first of all, the JavaScript like input box. It's I don't know what the fuck to put there most of the time, and getting support for it is kind of difficult. I don't know why. I've gone to the RPG Maker web forums a few times. I wouldn't say several times. I don't know, maybe a couple of times, asking for help, and like just I never get an answer for HUD Maker. It's like, okay, thanks. And the input box itself is so tiny. Like I don't know what I can't read what I'm putting in. But yeah. Anyways, it is good. It's a useful tool. I have used it some to create HUD elements. I don't have any points to assign though, right? Yeah. It might be nice if you were able to start off with maybe 1 or 2 points to, I don't know, just kind of really lean into its RPG roots. You got your special, right? Except it's not special, it's peak. It's not your special, it's your peak. We live in the brown eye of the storm. The ass of the storm. Anyways, it would be nice if you could, you know, start your character off right by just assigning just a couple of points. It's neither here nor there, honestly, but it's just kind of one of those things that kind of make you feel like, yeah, this is This is indeed an RPG. A blade fabricated from the estimated best practices. Lethal weapon, 40 damage, increased by level. Grants 25% melee evasion, increased by user physicality. I don't have any logs. Energy beam from a hidden weapon in the user's palm. This beam destabilizes the molecular structure of the impact area. Lethal damage, deals 70 damage. Greatly increased at high levels, cannot crit. Slam. Find an opening to lift the target and slam them on the ground. It's non-lethal, but you're breaking their fucking spine. Yeah, it's not lethal, but they're fucking paralyzed from the waist down, from the neck down for the rest of their life. But it's not lethal. Nullifier, an energy beam from a hidden weapon in the user's palm. I'll figure this stuff out. Is all this stuff equipped? Yeah, good. Oh no. Okay. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna try this real fast. It's probably gonna crash exactly the same, but just to check. Yeah, I thought so.
Come on.
Alright. Yeah, okay. Oh, there's some monster right there. Please note that your onboard fabricator and I can now assist you in battle. I can predict enemy attacks to mitigate incoming damage. I can also scan enemies to find vital weaknesses that, when attacked, cause devastating debilitation or even instant death. The fabricator can repair all of us as well as protect us with a light wall. It can also provide offensive benefits like extra moves or weapons. Please consider all options presented during a fight. Using the simplest attacks is often strategically unsound and will lead to painful, drawn-out bouts or even mission failure. Mouse over icons, enemies, and allies to get crucial information. Yeah, I like this plugin. He showed this off in one of his dev streams. I think this is one of like Olivia's plugins or something, where you can just hover over an icon to get information about the states. I'm wondering how to do this in my own game. I thought about getting this plugin for myself, and I might still do that. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with using the mouse. It's just that my game has this has been unintentional, but has basically wound up being capable of being played with just one hand. You know, like all the keys have been clustered around WASD. The mouse function has basically been disabled, like clicking on the map has been disabled. It's very much intended just to be played with just one hand, and I do realize what that might imply. I'm waiting for you to make the joke, but that's not what I'm trying to say. For my own game, I think I have good news. I do think I now have a programmer on board who's going to be doing some custom stuff for my game. Oh boy. He has actually a pedigree behind him. I think we're all now familiar with him if we frequent the RPG Maker forums, because he just actually had a plugin get released as an official DLC, like a sanctioned Gacha Games DLC plugin. The pixel movement plugin that just got released is by the guy who's working for me. Chaucer is his name on the forums, but he goes by Rosedale Studios for his productions. So he's helping me. He's gonna start work on Monday, but we've already been talking about the stuff that I need done, so I'm pretty sure he's on board. And I'm thinking, like, I've already mocked up in the past battle UI that I'd like to use for my game, but it needs some adjustments to it. And I'm thinking maybe it might be kind of nice. There's a lot of open space once the UI is put in place, that maybe I could use something like at the bottom of the screen or something that, like, updates automatically with the states that are present. And maybe it could like update, like give the information down there or something. I don't know. Anyways, I'm talking to myself. That's not relevant to this game, but that is to say, this is a pretty cool little touch here. Now, to give some suggestions for the game as he goes forward, one UI improvement that I think would help is the rolling icons. Kind of sucks. It would be nice if it was possible to have like the icons next to each other. Like you could just line up the icons here, 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 and here, so they're not like rolling like this. I know this is just like one of Yawnfly's plugins because I use it too. And I'm not really a fan of that because you have to wait for it to switch to the next icon. And mind you, this is running at 2 times speed, more than 2 times speed. So it's actually not this fast. So waiting like a second, or I think it's a second for it to change, kind of sucks. Anyways, let's see what we're gonna do. So let's see. Tough skin. This creature's skin is tough as armor, reducing damage from physical attacks by 30%. So what do we want to do? Predict? Oh, I see. We're using scan for vulnerable subsystems. Vulnerable. Determine if there is a subsystem that can be exploited by a precise attack in order to reduce the combat efficacy of the target or deal substantial damage to it. Imprecise and multi-target attacks cannot damage these subsystems. Analyze the movement patterns of an enemy to allow the chassis to melee strike with ideal clashing momentum. Increase the damage taken from melee strikes by 50% and reduce evasion by 0%. Reduces evasion by 0%? Y'all need that widescreen UI goodness. I will say at 1080p you get a lot more room for text. First of all, my text is squeezed down into less than 720p. I run the game at 720p, but I think it looks really ugly having the text go almost practically all the way to the borders of the screen. I usually allow for like a bleed area, so there's like, I think the box cuts off proportionally. Obviously my game's at 720p, but proportionally it cuts off at about this point here, I think, on both sides, so it's like here on the other side as well. And then because it's 720p as well, it's 33% smaller in size, so really fitting, I still have only 2 lines of text, but fitting in less pixels, 2 lines of text, you know, I really start having to like crunch my sentences down. I can tell you, I use ChatGPT a lot in my game, and that's mostly to be like, I have this skill description, please make it fit into my fucking limited space, for the love of God. So, but it's nice to have all this room for description. Direct power from unused resources to refill 40 battery to the target. Stores an extra 4 battery per turn. I'm a little bit overwhelmed by this though, because like right now both of these almost kind of sound like the same thing, but also not the same thing, right? Determine if there's a subsystem that can be exploited. Analyze movement patterns to allow the chassis. So it's like both of these are like allowing for like critical, sorry, these two, for basically like getting like a critical hit or something, you know, for doing more damage. But they're also not the same, and one costs more, and this one also reduces evasion by 0%. So, you know, that's right, quite the hell of a reduction there, a whole 0%. I'm gonna do this one. Destabilizer. Nullifier. Slash? Fatal weakness? Sure. Okay, so I feel like this is a little bit cheap. I know what just happened there, but I wonder if you know what happened there. I know what happened there because I watched his devlogs. But I suspect you might not have watched his devlogs, so you're not completely sure what just happened there. And this is one of the things I was saying. I think it was this specific devlog where he talked about this thing, that it's like there's a lot of moving parts to combat that I feel like can very quickly become overwhelming to players. So basically, that skill that I used, I wasn't sure which skill it was. I don't remember from the devlog. You know, I was talking about there's two skills that sound similar. I knew one of them was going to do this function. I just didn't know which one it was. Looks like my guess was right. Basically, you can scan an enemy, and it will reveal a weak point on the enemy. And then you can attack that weak point, which is like the little floating thing that was above it. And it will, if you attack that weak point, it will do bonus damage to the main enemy. So yeah. Without any sort of tutorial on that, I don't know. That's one thing I've been thinking about with my own game, or just games in general, is that sometimes I do think it's nice to just let players, you know, figure things out on their own and not tutorialize everything. The thing is with RPGs is that things get really fucking abstract because you really only have the numbers to go off of. And if you're not paying attention to the fact that, oh, that number just did a lot more damage than normal, then you might not really know what's effective, what's not effective, and what are good combinations and all of that stuff. It's just that RPGs tend to be really abstract, especially when it comes to like turn-based stuff. So that's where, like, I do think like tutorials are really kind of important for RPGs. You can't just like let players figure shit out. But I don't know. I almost kind of feel like in this game, it kind of almost fits the theme to have like players figure shit out. But I don't know. I would really think hard about that, because obviously the more you rely on players just experimenting and figuring shit out, the more possibility the game feels alienating to players and they just don't want to keep playing. So I don't know. That's something that I would have a long and hard think about for this game. In my own game, I think most of the combat stuff is going to be tutorialized, but the current level that I've been working on, there's a lot of mechanics to it. A lot of different mechanics. And I've kind of realized, I think for the most part, the mechanics give you pretty immediate feedback as to what they do. And so I've been thinking that I may not actually tutorialize them. I will like have the NPC say like, you know, I'll have something there like, oh, just try stuff, it'll be fine. But otherwise, I don't think I'm going to tutorialize every mechanic, because I think if I did tutorialize every mechanic in it, it would really break the pacing really badly, because, like I said, there's a lot of fucking mechanics in the level I'm building. So we'll just scan for, what is this blue one? Weak target. Target is too weak to be worth scanning. Okay. Interesting. Do I like that? I don't know. I feel like that's kind of clunky. I don't know. I feel like it should just be something that you can do on every enemy. And then, I don't know, again, going just with kind of the theming of the game. Like, if it were to go of a less explanatory route, as I was just talking about, I feel like this is just giving too much information. If it goes that route of being less explanatory and more experimentation from the player. Giving the weak target information there, I think, is too generous. I feel like players should just figure out on their own, like, oh, that's enemy I don't need to scan. But for this little demo I'm playing, I will say I'm glad it's there. Just so that way we're not wasting time scanning worthless things. The vocal cords. Fabrication. Repair. Adrenaline. Barbs of light. Okay. I don't know, just put a light wall up. Reroute power. I don't know, predict. Sure. Combat destabilizer. Recharge. Oh, okay. Stores an extra 4 battery. Oh, okay. For experience. Oh, that arrow doesn't seem to be aligned properly. I feel like it should be pointing that way, not that way. Do you just... Oh, that feels like a really jank way of doing that. I feel like this is just... And I totally understand where he's coming from, if this is the reason why he did this. But I feel like he didn't put a transfer here, or here, or here, but instead made it this activatable point. Because he didn't want to fill his map up with a bunch of events, because once you get all this event litter on your map, it starts to become a real fucking headache to navigate through the editor, right? Because like you create a move route for an event and you have to like scroll through all of your events, and when you have like, I don't know, like my Caldera Colosso where there's like 700 events on the fucking map, you have to really scroll for a long fucking time to find that one event that you want to set a move route for. So I get it. Event litter is really annoying. And so instead of having to create a bunch of events all along this wall, he just has this one. However, there's a solution for that. And he has Yawnfly stuff. Does he even have this one installed? Event chase player, event click trigger, event mini label. I think it's event hitbox, so I don't think it's here. Bro, don't let bros event litter. That's right. I understand the frustrations of event litter, because it sucks. It's really a poor organizational part of RPG Maker. If I have one humongous complaint about RPG Maker, it's not that it's an archaic, it has like these archaic standards about it. Those are annoying, but thankfully, due to the design of the engine itself, you can work around those archaic design choices when it comes to the gameplay itself. No. My biggest complaint about RPG Maker as an engine is the editor itself and its lack of organizational tools. I know just recently in MZ, they finally let you drag and drop within the event window. So you can, like, if you put an event command here, but you needed to be up there, you can click and drag it up there, which is nice. Okay, cool. But there's still just so much other organizational stuff that's just missing in the editor, like filtering, like when there's, you know, like a long list of, you know, events. filter would be nice, where you just like click on the list of events and you just type in whatever event you're looking for. Like, I don't know, we want event 61, so we type in E61 and it just starts narrowing the list until, oh, there's event 61. Anyways, it doesn't look like he has the plugin I was looking for. There is Yanfly's event hitbox thing. I actually just recently started using it myself. And basically, you just, in comments, comment tags on the event itself, you just specify how many grids up or how many grids down to basically have a hitbox for that one event. And that way you could have a transfer event span from here all the way down to here without creating a bunch of event litter in the process. I use a parallel event to checking a region if they have. Yeah, I've done that in a few areas as well, using a region check. I just don't like having parallel events running, and I'm a little bit dumb too when it comes to the math side. Making sure that there's continuity when transferring from one map to the other. When we have like long spans of map like this, so say, for example, we have this span here, and the player enters here. The transfer needs to tell them what the X and Y is of wherever they transfer. And so it's only one transfer location for this whole span, so you're just going to go here. So you get this kind of like lack of continuity, right? They transfer here when they actually entered the map from here, so it's not lining up. You're not getting that continuity. At least if you have a series of events all along the wall, it's very easy to set up the transfer command. So here transfers to here, here transfers to here, here transfers to here, so you get the continuity between it. The continuity from transferring from one map to another is like not important, but it's also, you know, again, it's one of those tiny little bits of polish that's just not necessary, but it's nice to have that effort put in, you know. That said, like I said, I've done it sometimes too, just because it's just easier. And also, if you use Yanfly's hitbox, it's only working off of one event, so you would still have the same problem of lack of continuity from transfer points. Anyways, I don't know what this predict does. Nah, f that, just make little gates and doors and fences. What you just said, bros don't let bros event litter. Can't let you do that. What's this pink thing? Target has their attack power lowered by 20%. Interesting. Oh, is that what the prediction was? Oh, I see. Okay. That's what the prediction thing did. Yeah, that's usually what I try to limit it to as well. Just 1 to 3. And if it's more than 1 to 3 transfer points, then, you know, I just need to, like, tighten the choke point down so that I can get it down to 1 to 3 transfer points. We'll just do this. Poor is getting beat up on. Recharge? Wait, but it's at, she's at, is at 100% battery. How come I couldn't use the thing? Anyways, okay. Let's repair. Yeah, it says 20 battery. Is it just because of this? Like, because it's so weak that it just won't even let me scan it? I I guess. I imagine so. I don't know. So one thing I am kind of not digging about this combat is when you get left to that one last trash mob and you just want it to fucking die. You have to cycle through 2 non-offensive characters before you can get back to your damage dealer. So, like, you just want to end the fight right away, but you gotta wait through 2 turns before, or 2 actions before you get to actually do your thing. I don't know, it might be nice if there was like some sort of like function for like the fabricator, or it doesn't matter who, but just to have more additional damage output. You could even make it like this only affects the weak enemies, you know, the enemies that are like not worth scanning. So that way if you're left with one tiny little trash mob left there, then you can just wipe it out. Or like maybe you can have a skill of if an enemy has X amount of health, like I would put it this way, is like for weak enemies you could have like if enemies have, you know, 30 health or less, or enemies are left with less than, you know, 20% health, then this skill will do damage. Otherwise, if they're above those numbers, then it does nothing. Something like that. I don't know. But just that something, so that way you're not just having to wait through 2 people who can't do anything just to kill. Excuse me. All the glowing boxes. I don't know. Well, what's this green one? Tough skin. Oh, I see. Wait, they don't all... I just realized. Some of those states are... Wait. No, maybe not. I wasn't paying attention. I thought... For a moment there, I was thinking some of these states are randomly generated. Because I thought... Never mind. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Alright, anyways. Yeah, okay. Whatever. Sure. Do it on the Mutadog pack leader. Try this. Disrupts. Okay, it just fucking killed him. Okay, whatever. Adrenaline. That's kind of a fun skill, actually. I kind of like the sound effects he's got going on, too. I just realized it's kind of loud for you guys, huh? But yeah, those sound effects are kind of satisfying. Oh, let's see if we can do the scan thing. Yeah, okay. Let's scan for the... on the pack leader. I don't have any batteries, so I guess we'll just slash the vocal cords. Read route power? Sure. Combat destabilizer. Oh, they're both gonna die soon, though. Kill that guy first. Conflict resolved. Oh, there's junk in my way. There's some... Can you see that? Yeah, you can see that. I don't know how you would fix this. I think this has to do with, like, parallax mapping or something, and just the character's sprite size. But you have, like, a lot of overlapping here, like with his foot, where it's on top of this barrier. Don't really know how you would fix that. Might just have to be something that you'd have to live with. You just have this jank walking on top of things kind of look to everything. Such is the nature of pre-rendered stuff, right? Lock doesn't seem too sturdy. I can probably break it down. I am detecting human life inside. They might not appreciate such vandalism. However, there is something wrong with the brain patterns of those within. I do not believe they will answer our call. What do you mean? Elaborate. Visual scan required to confirm findings. For now, fabricate a lockpick and I will help you visualize mechanisms' inner workings. Ah, his jank fucking lockpicking game. Yeah. Your goal is to move each tumbler into the correct position. Listen for the click. If you move the tumbler too far, the entire lock will reset. Once all the tumblers are in the correct position, the lock will open. Yeah. So... You'll draw that background on a grid somehow? Oh, I see. So yeah, to me this looks like... I don't know. It looks like RPG Maker jank. Like, how do I make a hacking mini game? I don't know. Just like make the character sprite of... What is this, a fucking kunai? So I think... I don't know. I think part of it is noticing like the tile shape. It's also so small. Like how... If this is how it's going to be done, I would not... I don't know. I wouldn't use like... How would I do this? I don't know if I would have it as such a small little screen like this with the picture in the background. And having the tiles there. I also feel like the direction of the kunai should be fixed, right? It's like a kunai in the line. I mean, that's what it fucking looks like, right? When you have like the blade here, and this is the handle, and the little loop that you can see the little, you know, if you're fucking Naruto or whatever, you can swing it around there and then whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. But anyways, I feel like it should be direction fixed. It shouldn't be able to like move like that. It seems like it's partially direction fixed because I can't make it like turn down. But I don't know, when it can move like this, it makes me think of a sprite. You know, like a regular RPG Maker movement sprite. Character sheet, whatever. And I feel like, yeah, speaking of, I feel like there should be, like, the body of it sticking out here. So here's what you can do, right? You can map a picture onto the character. So maybe you could like get like the body of a key or a lockpick or whatever that basically just extends. You could basically just extend it infinitely and map it to the player here. So it extends infinitely to the left. And then you'd have this picture here, the background, it would actually, it looks like a background, but actually what it is a foreground element with just a little window cut out for the tiles here. And then basically this picture would act as a mask for the body of the key. So what you would see is this is the picture, and the key body would be back here, and so it would just like slide out like this. Like this. So you wouldn't realize, you know, it would be hiding the key, and it would look like it'd just be coming in from over here. I'd also maybe not have the tiles have like a border like that, so it kind of looks like this is the entrance for the lock. And I don't know, maybe have like a gradient of like it being light to dark here. Something like that. So, and then I do feel like some of these tiles look very like RPG Maker. Like it doesn't match the art style of what's going on, because everything else is like pre-rendered like looking stuff. So I don't know. I would look for something that looks more pre-rendered and less like you know, pixel art tile set stuff for this. I think combining all those things. Also, I don't know if I would use the arrow there, since this is clearly on a separate map. You can just run a parallel event that's like looking for the player to press the escape key, and when they press the escape key, just transfer them out of this screen. You know, you don't need to have like this here. So, anyways, I think that's how I would do it. It would make it look less jank. It would feel less like RPG Maker jank. You know? Anyways, alright, let's do this. What does the click sound like? Okay, that's a click. It's just like you figure out which order. No, it's just the one. That's it. Clockwork Gears background that I also think is AI generated, because like the gear teeth are like meshing really weird. So, and like here, I don't know what's going on with this gear teeth right here. It's like melting into another gear. Let's just say this is not a very functional clock. I don't really get this. I only hear the click here. Huh? Press interact on a tumbler to move it 2 spaces. Oh, I see. Hold run and press interact? That's weird. I see. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know about that, bud. I feel like I would change that to just use a single button. Oh, there's a different song. Oh, there's someone. Diplomacy impossible. Scan for vulnerable subsystems. I don't know why I can't say that. Destabilizer. Oh, I can only use that on him? I feel like... Here's what I think about that. I feel like you should be able to use any of your skills. I feel like you should you should be able to use any of your skills on the, you know, the little weak point thing, which I know you can't really see because the help box is there. And I don't know, I would hope that, like, if I use Destabilizer on this, since this does a fuck ton of damage, that would basically just fuck this guy's day up. And maybe that's why he didn't do it, is because maybe that would be, like, way too OP or something, because it already seems to do a lot of damage if you just use a regular slash. But I don't know, it feels like once you reveal it, that's like your only choice. You don't really get too many different choices on... Oh, I can't target it? What's up with that? Oh, there we go. Oh, it's right and left. That's just RPG stuff. RPG Maker things. Just RPG Maker things! You have to use left or right to select it, even though it's above him. Alright, RPG Maker. Anyways, finally Wu gets what he deserves for shitting on all those games while having this jank. Yeah, right? I told him that when he did the... Excuse me. I told him that when he did his devlog on the hacking minigame, that it looks pretty fucking jank as it is in its current form. And if I recall correctly, I think there was another person in the comment section who was also like, I don't know about this, bud. This looks a little bit janky for this game. I think it just comes down to it looking too, like, different from the game itself. It looks like it doesn't belong in this game, you know? The pixel art sprite work with tiles is different than all the pre-rendered stuff. The, like, kunai thing is, like, feels like an inappropriate asset for a lockpick, and it's just kind of floating in space. If we were to assume that that space was the lock, it's just kind of floating inside the lock, when I feel like something that looks like, as I mentioned, like a key, like, sorry, it should be like this, that's, like, peeking through like this, going, you know, something like that. I don't know, I think some of those things would kind of make it more cohesive. Now, the shift to make it move 3 and space to make it move 2, that's kind of weird. I feel like I would just leave it as space. I don't know, I get maybe why you might not want to do... Actually, I don't know, because... I mean, with space, you just, like, tap it until you hear the click, and then move, and then tap it until you hear the click. I guess by having it use 3 or 2 spaces, you have to make a guess, and you might get it wrong the first time, so it's almost kind of like random chance. But I don't know, there's also kind of no stakes, because you don't have, like, lockpicks or anything. At least, maybe later on, since that was a tutorial, maybe you have infinite, but maybe later on you are limited to however many lockpicks you have. I don't know. The lockpicking game, I think, needs some reconsideration. Anyways, let's kill this thing. Conflict resolved. What the hell was that? Oh, his text was green when I think it should have been white, because she only talks in green, right? Talks in green. Colloquially, a zombie, more precisely a human with a neurodegenerative disease. Previously known commonly as rabies, this is a hypermutated version of it. Right on. I like your lore there, it's just rabies. Some guy got bit by a fucking possum. Actually, sorry, I think possums don't actually carry rabies, they have like an immunity to it. Anyways, some fuckhead got bit by a rat and now the whole world's gone to hell. The lock needs more waifus. That's what it is. That's what it is. The first of all, the lockpick sprite should have just been a fucking anime babe, and then that gear picture, wrong choice. Should have just been like fucking, you know, Gotcha Impact waifus, just all of them, just in the background. Can we save them? Was his text always green? Am I misremembering things here? If caught in early stages of infection, yes, but within a week The damage to the brain is too great. Any semblance of human thought and all memories would be erased. Raccoon rabies outbreak. To undo this damage would essentially involve building a new brain. Note, my initial data on the survivors is now skewed by this discovery. An unknown percentage of the population is infected by this disease. Should have just been tits all along. That's what I'm saying, man. Oh, see, now his text is white. This just gets better and better. Is that sarcasm? Yes. I need to take a pee break. Let's explore these boxes. The green text has been there? Are you fucking with me? I mean, I know used green text, but I thought used white text. I mean, he is the pale one here. Well, let's kill the zombie. What's the blue one? Weak target. Even though he looks bigger than that one. Oh, I guess he's kind of crouched down. I don't know. It's really dark on my screen. It's like they're talking calculators. Yeah. That's because the game is running at above 2 times speed. Weren't you here when I was talking about that? The FPS sync option is turned on, which is making the game use, its old, like, frame rate desynchronized, whatever. Anyways, the game is running at 2 times speed because of FPS sync, and I can't disable it because the options menu crashes when I go to the options menu to disable it. So we are unfortunately running the game at double speed. Well, actually, I don't know. That's a good point. I wonder if he does have that. But that fix doesn't fix that problem. It's gonna be under K. It's the keto graphics fix, I think is what it's called. I don't see it here either. So he might not have the fix. Surprisingly, we haven't had the graphics crash. It's sort of irregular. I definitely know that it's related to high refresh rate monitors, but there's been some games I've played that don't have the graphics fix implemented that don't have any problems. So I'm not sure what causes the problem directly, but it's definitely related to high refresh rate monitors. Maybe actually, you know what? Maybe it's because because FPS sync is on or off, whatever you want to call it. The frame rate, we'll just say the frame rate is unlocked. Oh, does it fix the double speed? So maybe that's it. I honestly don't know what the plugin does. Like, I just spent hours and hours, like, trying to find why the fuck does my game keep crashing this way, and I just came across that, but I have no explanation for what the plugin actually does. But it does make me wonder if it's related to, like, maybe it has something to do with the game trying to limit its frame rate, like something about the logic where God, how the fuck do I phrase this? I know what I'm trying to say, but I can't, like, put it into words. Like, I'm just saying, like, I think because the FPS sync option rolls it back to the 1.1 and makes the game run at double speed, it doesn't run into that crashing problem. So maybe that's why the game hasn't crashed on me yet, is because it is running at double speed, because it's using it on that old engine logic. I think it was maybe the new engine logic caused problems for high refresh rate monitors where it would crash the game. Either way, I don't know what the reason is that I haven't crashed yet. Maybe I've just been lucky. It's also totally unpredictable when it happens. Sometimes I would have play sessions that are, you know, hours, 2 hours long, whatever, and have no crashes. And then sometimes I would play for 10 minutes and then it's crashed. So who knows? Anyways, I guess here's my recommendation to Woo TBM. How have you missed the fucking thing that is in my signature and I like spam everywhere? It's for MV games, buddy. Your game will crash if you don't implement this fix. So please, fucking put it in there, and then also get rid of Yanfly's FPS sync. Don't use it. It's misleading. It's useless. It causes problems. Just get rid of it. I also rant about it in the fucking tutorial thread on applying the fix for the graphics crash because I hate this fucking FPS sync plugin. It does nothing but cause confusions. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, the FPS sync option, it's just, it's such a useless fucking plugin. We'll just predict this dude. Aw, he missed. Fuck you, man. This is now level 2. New skill, Deadly Strike. You leveled up. That means you got an attribute point. Go to the attributes menu to spend it. Remember, all attribute points earned are cumulative and you can spend them on any part of your body. For example, you can level up your AI assistant, but spend the given point on your chassis. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, it took me a moment to parse that, but I see. Like, your AI assistant is the one that leveled up. And because it leveled up, you get an attribute point. But you can spend that attribute point on anyone in your party. I get it. Hold on a moment. I'm going to take a pee break. I don't know. I guess you guys jam out to the soundtrack in this game. And you'll also only get, what is that, 2/3 of the window, and the rest is covered up by Fidel. Who cares? Anyways, be right back. Can we spend the attribute point at the pub? I don't think they accept attribute points. There it is. Wait, which one is it? There we go. Alright, we got it. Alright, so let's take a look at this. Oh, man. There we go. Now we got it set up right. Alright, let's take a look at this attribute point thing. Each point in physicality grants 5% evasion against melee attacks while the user wields a melee weapon. Each point in efficiency reduces the cost of skills that use ammo or chemicals. Each point in energy gives the user a battery recharge rate of 6 per turn. Charisma determines whether or not diplomacy attempts will work if the user has higher charisma. So, obviously, this is an early alpha of the game, and I think he hasn't implemented diplomacy yet. So, officially, in this, I think we can say with confidence that this stat is actually useless, because there is no diplomacy implemented in the game yet. I do believe that is what he said. So, I don't know. There's a couple of things that I don't know how to feel about this. So, like, what does happen is you start off, like, we don't know what the other weapons are like and what kind of build we want. And so, like, right now, I'm mostly using a melee weapon, because I haven't gotten, like, a gun or anything. So it's like, I don't know how to build yet. And I guess the nice thing about attribute points is I guess I can just hold off and wait. But I do feel like, without getting a chance to kind of see how I might want to build the player, it is rife for someone to actually build their character the wrong way. I don't know if there's a way to reset attribute points. A lot of modern RPGs do allow you to do that. I have mixed feelings about that as well. I'll maybe talk about that in a moment. But anyways, with no way to reset attribute points, you can effectively soft lock yourself by doing a really bad build. And that's just mostly because you didn't know what the fuck was going on in the game. When you're building yourself. And if the game doesn't give you a chance to figure out what you want to add points into, it is very possible for you to build your character poorly. Now, there is one thing I do have to say about being able to reset attribute points. While I do appreciate the modern feature, it does, on the one hand, kind of make your choices less meaningful. I do think when you really have to consider where that attribute point has to go, it feels way more impactful. When it's a game where you're like, I can just slap my attribute points anywhere and then just reset it later, it doesn't feel quite as meaningful, you know? There's a feeling to it. So I do think that if done well, it's better to have a system that you cannot reset the attribute points, but you gotta make sure that players can feel confident about where they're gonna spend those attribute points. So I don't know. Yeah. Only two options for AI assistant. Energy and RAM. Let's see. And I missed what Mr. Orc said. So far, I'm not really impressed. I'm not surprised. Art looks kind of thrown together. Combat seems boring. Sound effects are weak. That letter sound is annoying as hell, so I don't know. I expect more. Granted, I have it pretty quiet in my headphones. I'll turn it up. The sound effects that I heard sounded actually pretty nice to me. Combat, I'm gonna say it's a cut above a lot of RPG Maker games. I do think there's the potential for strategy there, but there's also some flaws with it as well. You clearly just want to do the, like, you have, oh god, what's the fucking gamer term for it? I don't remember, but optimal strategy. I don't think that's the term I'm looking for. But anyways, you have your optimal strategy of basically using the scan, find the weakness, hit the weakness, do the big number, then finish it off if it didn't die from the big number damage. So yeah, and then there's the problem of like having to sit through two two characters that basically can't do damage. And Fuxu1701D don't do damage. So the only one that can do damage is and so you wind up having to wait through and Fuxu1701D doing nothing just to wipe out the last enemy. It just means you're kind of waiting around a lot to just finish the fucking fight. Now maybe later on Fuxu1701D gets like a grenade or something, but also I feel like that might be like overkill. Like that's kind of like the last resort kind of option if you do get a grenade. There should just be like a simple attack to like a finish it off attack, an easy to just burn, like low damage, but like if you're just trying to get the fight over with, then you might as well add those few extra numbers in there. Next impacts is just pew pew pew, and it's FV of course, no screen shakes, no impacts, no nothing, just pew pew pew. Front view. I think that's what you mean by FV. Yeah, I mean, let's be fair here. It is a very early alpha, so I don't really mind the art. Maybe this is because I played. I think he mentioned that this was a problem. My frame rate's been cut down to 20 frames per second, and you mentioned this as a known issue. Uh-oh, I thought he said just opening the menu would fix it. Oh, there it is. I had to do it twice. I actually don't mind the graphics. Here, God, your guy really doesn't stand out. It's really easy for him to get camouflaged with the floor. But anyways, and this is maybe some rose-tinted glasses talking, but, you know, I used to play a lot of... you know, computer games that used, like, pre-rendered graphics. And so maybe it's because I played those that I do find this type of graphical style actually kind of charming. So, I don't know. That's just me. Let's see, what did you say? Yeah, we don't know what's going to happen down the line, of course. Just judging the state right now. Yeah. And I mean, that's what I'm here for as well, is just judging it as it is now. So, I'm not saying that, it's to excuse any of the problems. I mean, it kind of is. I wish we were still in kunai. See, the character having no shadow or anything that makes him more visible in this huge black-white map. I don't know, not ideal either. Yeah, I think I mentioned this in one of his comments as well on one of his devlogs, that the character kind of blends in. I mentioned that maybe he could just apply an outline around the character, and I think he had said that he didn't know how to do that. What I would do to apply an outline to the character is just change their sprite. Like, just make a duplicate copy of the character sheet. Take that duplicate copy, bring it into, like, GIMP or Photoshop, whatever you use, and then just apply a stroke to it. I probably wouldn't have the stroke at 100% opacity, just because it'll probably look pretty ugly. But, you know, just apply, like, maybe a 20-30% stroke to the character. And then whenever the player enters this building, you can just change the character sheet to the character sheet with the outline. I think that's a pretty simple solution to that problem, is how I would do that. Yep, there it is. You and I are thinking about the same thing. Swap the sprite to the one with the outline on the sheet whenever necessary. Yep. So yeah, here's like your optimal strategy. Process, scan for vulnerabilities. You scan, you get the little thing that pops up. The Fuxu1701D. And then you just attack. This is something, I don't know, I would probably see about getting someone to fix. I actually think Yonfly has a plugin that already fixes this, but and I guess this is for people who use mouse. I guess you could just mouse over it. That's probably the best way to play But like if you use keyboard to select your target, you don't move the cursor relative to the location of where the enemy is. Instead, you just move the cursor left or right. So it makes more sense here when I'm on Grappler Zombie. I want to press W to move up to the soft spot, but you can't do that. Instead, you press left. Because I guess this is like enemy A, B, and C. So it wants to move like that. Anyways, but I guess mouse is actually better. Scan for more vulnerabilities. Will that just stay there? I think that'll just stay there. Kill that guy and then I'll attack the soft spot or whatever. It's got interesting stuff going on in it. Never been a scan of scanning ability. Never been a scan. Jesus Christ. Never been a fan of scanning abilities. I think it's boring as fuck. Like you're gonna have to scan turn 0 anyways, and then you're just gonna use whatever weakness it is. Not really compelling gameplay. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. It's just that there's no reason to not scan, right? It is the optimal strategy. You go into combat and then you just use the scan. There's nothing that really is stopping you from doing it. It does cost energy, but it doesn't cost a lot of energy to do it. And it seems like it's pretty easy to recharge your battery, since I think that's... Let's just go into combat, because there's combat right here. There is a battery recharge option right here. Like, I'm at full battery right now, right? So is there a cost to using it? Yeah, but it's such a small, negligible cost that, you know, there's no reason not to do it. I don't know. I feel like there should be something. There are some enemies that it just is like, it's not worth scanning them. But I don't think that's enough. I feel like, I don't know, maybe like enemies countering it. I don't know, that might feel like some bullshit. I don't know what the answer is to it. It's not my game, so I don't know. I'm not going to come up with an answer for it. I would say to Mr. Wu TBM to really kind of think through how you might be able to fix that, so that way maybe there might be a compelling reason to not scan. Exactly, it's the ideal strategy with zero drawbacks or risks to use it. There's zero other choices that make sense to use. Why scan? Are the weaknesses random? No. So like if I go here, I mean, it's always gonna come up. Right? So now the weaknesses has been shown, and then I'll just attack the fatal weakness. There we go. I think it's kind of a cool way of handling the weakness, but... Alright, so here, if we're theory crafting stuff, this might be difficult to implement in RPG Maker, but let's just pretend that the sky is the fucking limit, alright? Because technically the sky is the limit in RPG Maker, it just depends on how much fucking money you want to put into it. So let's just pretend the sky's the limit here. Here's what I would say, is when you scan an enemy, you'd kind of get something like VATS, right? So it'd pop up with like different areas of the enemy. And you don't know which one is the most effective area to attack. So some areas might do high damage, some areas might do low damage, and you basically just have to guess. I don't know if that's a good solution, but at least you would have more choices. It wouldn't just be like, oh, I scanned him, now I do the big number, right? you would have to, like, there would still be something more that you'd have to do after the scan. I mean, it's fine that she can scan anyways, too, because it's not like she has any other function anyways. She basically is just the do the scan lady. It should have just been her name. Her name should have just been do the scan. But instead we named her So. And then this guy is just the light wall. And then whenever you're low on health, if you forgot to use the light wall, then you can heal with him. So we'll just do that. So yeah, here we can try recharge. Yeah, and recharge. Holy shit, recharge actually completely... 40 points. I don't know if it just brings you all the way back up to max or not, but 40 points, 40% of the battery from one turn. That's nuts, man. So yeah, there's that's how much it costs to use the scan ability. So basically, you scan, you recharge. You scan, you recharge. Worst case scenario, right? So... yeah, I don't know. There's got to be some sort of something to make this not the optimal strategy. You know, another way of looking at it is that, as I was just saying, is it's sort of her only function. Maybe if she had other skills to kind of offset it, like scan is good, it's powerful, but if she also had other powerful skills to use, then there's a compelling choice there. It's like I could scan, or I could use this skill, right? But I do think you kind of get shoehorned into using that one skill because it's just so much more effective than I think anything else that she has on offer. Because reroute power just gives your battery over to someone else, then find opening. I haven't actually tried this, so I don't know. Let's try it, I guess. Demos on. I get it, it's demolition, but I was thinking, like, because we're playing the demo. So what does that do? Increases damage from melee attacks by 50%. Oh shit, I attacked the wrong one. Because the fucking mouse over. God damn it. Well, that was a fucking waste. God damn it. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, I'm pretty sure the find weakness thing is just way more worthwhile. No. I might die. He only has 18. Let's put a light wall on him. I wanted to recharge, but... oh well. Reroute power. So now that because I was fucking around with skills, now I put myself in a difficult position, and now this is starting to feel like I gotta actually get tactical. I can actually start seeing some of the potential here, now that, because I fucked around. I guess I should have set the game to the harder difficulty. Oh, it has... let's kill that one. Yeah, I tried a different approach and nearly die. I've saved it. I've saved it. We made a recovery. Let's have her recharge. Oh, there's a new skill. A strike that executes an enemy with perfect timing. Enemies will learn to avoid this after using it, and therefore it can only be used once per combat. Lethal. Let's just destabilize it. Didn't fucking kill it. Come on, man. Why don't you recharge? I'm not gonna lie. When the game is actually challenging, I can actually see some potential. I can see it being a lot more fun. You might actually need to use your skills. There is potential there. For a moment, I could see it. You have your predict to lower their attack. You have the light wall to add a defensive barrier. Yeah, zombie is surely smart enough to learn how to avoid a perfectly timed attack. So I finally got a gun. Guns are the most effective weapons we have available, however they rely on limited materials to function. I'm seeing a lot of different types of ammunition in what I've gathered so far. Their material composition is generally the same. Your onboard fabricator will allow you to transpose them between different guns. Might take a while to dig through that. Don't worry, I have determined an alternate way out of the upper level. If you're near the weapons locker is still functional. Don't forget to equip the new weapon to try them out. Also, you can reload equipped guns in the field by pressing R. Oops. Wrong one. Do I have any armor? No. Ancient ranged weapon that fires projectiles. Lethal when fired, 44 damage per shot, shoots 2 times in 1 use. Holds 3 uses, requires 6 ammo to fill. To fill uses? That's a weird phrasing of that sentence. I think I understand. I think it's actually technically correct, but also just weird structure to the sentence. Ammo requirements reduced by user efficiency. Weapon that launches a softened projectile to subdue instead of kill a target. Why use non-lethal? Fuck that. Let's use a gun. Oh, the frame rate. Still didn't fully recover. At least the zombies are waiting their turn to attack. Yeah, how polite of them. Let's try you, Mr. Zombie Man. I'm gonna fucking shoot you. Oh, damn. That guy's got a lot of health. Let's kill that guy. Gun melee. Ammo cost reduced by user efficiency. Yeah. Don't you know? Well... well, you know, the more efficient you come, you've learned to cut the bullet in half, so that way you only fire half the bullet at a time. Shoot revolver. Soft spot. I don't know, predict that dude. Gun melee. Scan for subsystems. Shoot revolver. Gun melee. Double barrel, yeah. You get more efficient, you just add more barrels to your gun, but it's still firing the same number of bullets. It's just that it's like, when it goes through the barrel, it gets like, it splits the bullet, right? So you're firing one bullet that gets split. It's kind of like a shotgun, but instead of having, you know, like the buckshot inside the shell, it's the actual bullet itself that gets cut by the barrel. That's how that works. Alright, this dude's healthy, so we've gotten to just... Let me redact what I said about the sound effects. They're not the problem, it's the front view with no effects to sell the impacts. Fair enough. There we go. Reload. I like that he actually put that on R too. I'm guessing that's like a button common event that he has set up. My little lightning rod is also mapped to R to recharge it. Oh, we got a lot of zombies here. What was the blue thing again? Oh yeah, weak target. For now, let's just do like a predict. Reduce some damage here. And then you will use your revolver on the dying zombie. Oh, actually I meant to have her use the scan ability. Oh well. This guy has less health. There we go. Actually, I bet I do 88 points of damage, right? So I don't know if I even need to use the scan. Like, if I just shoot him, not the soft spot, will I just kill him? Sure enough. What do you mean I shouldn't go there yet? I thought I was going up. What? I thought that was the mission. Did I misunderstand? I can't go back. Oh, do I need to... Oh, I missed this. Excellent. While most of the data is irrelevant, I have parsed some useful information such as general geography. This is a good first step to piece together the history of the planet and find what happened. I have also uncovered de-escalation practices. I will turn these into a program you can install back at base. I feel like this stuff is like a little bit too much close to the top of the map. I would probably move these down a tile or two. And I don't know, for whatever reason, I feel like the glow was not quite as vibrant. It might have to do with the lighting in this place. I think it's using the typical tint mask system that like Terrax and Community Lighting uses. And so naturally it's just basically applying a black image on top of the game and just changing that black image's opacity to create an effect of light. So naturally anything that's on the map is going to be dimmed because there's... Well, the image has been, you know, a percent darker because there's a black on top of it. So I think it makes the green highlights just not quite as vibrant. there's a lot of enemies here. We'll just gun melee him. Gun melee. Oh, wow, that didn't kill him. Oh, I didn't mean to. I think. Oh, okay. Well, fine. Did this light barbs thing. That's fine. Gun melee kind of sucks. And I guess that makes sense, right? Because they want you to use the bullets, but then that's the trade-off with guns is that you have limited ammo. Whose turn is it? Oh, okay. Just predict. I feel like I'd just rather go with melee. I don't have to worry about ammo consumption, and it might do slightly less damage than the guns, but I don't have to worry about the ammo, and I can be more consistent with my damage. Oh, it only does 44 damage. What the fuck? I feel like that's how much the gun melee did. Okay, well, fair enough. It's just because these zombies are meaty zombies. All these boxes. I feel like really the battle fatigue is really starting to settle in. You don't get a lot of time between fights to just kind of do your thing. I feel like there's a lot of fighting, and it's just a lot of doing the same thing over and over at this point. What is all this? This creature emits radioactive damage to your entire body every turn. This creature's body reacts to damage, postponing terminal failure. Okay. I guess we should kill that guy quickly. Can you scan for vulnerabilities? No. Okay. Battlefield to postpone an enemy's action until the end of the current turn. So just do that. Oh, I see. Everyone is taking damage, huh? Alright. sure that guy's dead. Get rid of him. What the fuck is this? I thought the regeneration would just fucking heal him. I didn't think it meant he'd just fucking respawn again. Does he have all of his health? Most of it? What the fuck? Just recharge for now. Let's kill this guy. Okay, I can scan him again. I guess that's... no, I guess I can't, because nothing came up. Right on. That was a waste of a turn. Sure, we'll do that. Oh, they're dead. At least it's not instant game over on that. What the fuck? He's full health again? What is this horse shit? I've basically killed this dude like 3 fucking times now. There's fucking default RTP fucking death sound. Dude, that was some real fucking horseshit. What the fuck was that? I basically killed the dude 3 fucking times. What, are you supposed to go around him? When was the last save? Okay, when I least, thank God. And it's even right after the fight, too. Thank God, because if I had to fucking replay back up to that point, that probably would have been the end for me. Alright, let's spend attribute points. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, it's just evasion. No, wait, what do you mean was he the only enemy? He was the only enemy left. I'd killed the other one. Efficiency reduces the cost of skills. Sure. Oh, there is a reset function right there. Jeez. Okay. Wow, I'm pretty sure when I was talking about attribute points, I was talking about reset functions and was completely oblivious to the fact that there is a staring me right in front of my face a reset option. Check each skill to see how much it benefits from this attribute. Right on, man, if you say so. This is critical hit chance of the user by 5%. This is just evasion, but doesn't actually boost the damage output. But while the user wields a melee weapon, what a weird limitation on that. Because like efficiency doesn't, it's not only when using a gun. I mean, it kind of is because there's ammo, but you also have the chemicals one, which is regardless of whether you're using a gun or not. I don't know. Those are kind of weird choices. I feel like it should just be 5% evasion, regardless of whatever you have equipped. No, I didn't mean to do that. Sure, I guess I'll increase that, because that's gonna be like the only raw damage output I get. It's just hitting crits more often. So we'll try that. We'll see if I'm able to kill this guy. So first, I just want to kill that dude. So let's just predict on... Actually, no. I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing up now. I'm gonna shoot the revolver, kill that guy, get rid of him quickly. Craft grenade. Sure, I guess we'll do the find opening. Maybe that'll do bonus damage when I do... That's not gonna kill it though, is it? That might have been a waste. I don't know. Strike. Yeah, do that. Predict, reduce damage, reload, recharge. Okay, that time he just died the first time. What the fuck? What was up with that? Why did, in the previous fight, he just kept healing and, like, respawned a second time? I thought it was, like, just a boss fight or something. I see, I guess that explains why I don't remember seeing a way down outside. Interesting. You have reached the end of the pre-alpha demo. Thanks for playing. Feel free to submit any feedback by the... Okay. Alright, and then we reach the end. Pretty short. I mean, I know I've been playing for 2.5 hours, but I mean, there's a lot of just talking. one more time for my character. Okay. Super. All right. I don't know. When I got down to low health, when things got difficult, the game suddenly became way more compelling to me. I still, like, when you have, like, yeah, it just became more compelling. So, I don't know. I feel like, man, that was on normal mode. I can't imagine how much more boring this game would feel on easy mode. It's good that it's there. I'm glad that he provides those options, but I don't know. I feel like I don't know what the hard mode is like, but if it was compelling, if it made choices suddenly feel way more interesting, like when I got low health, then I don't know, maybe that hard mode should, like, you should try to nudge players towards the hard mode. Let's fill out this form for him. So we'll do normal. Did the difficulty feel appropriate for your selection? Felt too easy, other than what it is one response per row. It's right here. Oh, one. Oh, okay, I see. Didn't play. Also, I think that's wrong. I think it was just called hard. I don't think it was called tactical. They said it was a more tactical difficulty, but I don't think it was actually called tactical. Am I wrong about that? Let's just double check.
Come on, Dave.
Oh, it is called tactical. Okay, my bad. Anyways. Are there any standout issues with combat balance? Yeah. On regular trash mobs, you spend a lot of time waiting for your companions to basically do anything to waste your turn, so that your one and only damage dealer can finally finish the fight. Feels like a time waster. Glowing... What is... Glowing ghoul? I think that's what the Fallout... I think that's the Fallout equivalent. Right? The glowing ghoul... died, respawned, healed itself 3 times. Was it 3 times? I think it definitely healed itself. Maybe it was 2 times though. Healed itself 2 times. Then where was I going with this? Glowing ghoul died, respawned, healed itself 2 times. Felt cheap and unfair. Wiped the party. Wiped the party. Reloaded. Second attempt, it died and stayed dead the first time. And I'll put this one in for, oh wait, for balance, not for balance. I'll add SG's Mr. Orc's feedback down here. How did you feel about the pace of the story? Keep in mind this is the full intro for an 8 to 20 hour game. It's kind of hard to say. I think my response is a little bit skewed because obviously I spent a lot of time just chatting. I felt like the very beginning was a little bit on the slow side. Once after you like killed the first humans, like the first tutorial, I think things started moving a little bit quicker, but explaining like who you are and what your role is, like the whole intro stuff was a little bit too slow. I don't know, but my answer is skewed because it's, you know, time is irrelevant when you're streaming. Does the story make sense so far? Yeah, I think so. For any comments about the story or dialogue, the hooligans future slang is a little bit cringe, bro. Any other comments about the demo? Yeah, here's where I'll put Mr. Orc's feedback, because I kind of agree with it anyways. Battle lacks effects to sell the impact. UI design is ugly. Could use some work. What else? There's so many small minor things that I pointed out throughout the whole thing. I mean, he's going to be watching this video anyway, so I don't know if it's necessary that I put everything down. He's probably taking more thorough notes than what I can remember off the top of my head. So, at least I hope he took notes throughout this. I know whenever I watch anyone play my game, Mr. Orc, and whenever I released my very first game, Fidel and the Maker's Trial, when D7 played it, I had a pad of paper and a pencil right next to me, and I was taking notes that whole stream. I also commented every single time I had anything to say. Probably could have just had just one long comment instead, but oh well, that's how I did it. Gave him a lot of algorithm pushes. Anyway, so those are only two immediate things that come to mind. Of course, other stuff was talked about with the combat above, so anyways, he probably took notes on anything else. Yeah, there is a bug that I want to report. Option menu crashes the game. I suspect it has to do with an improperly programmed option. Within options? That's not correct. Options core. Remove. Yep. FPS sync. It's a misleading and totally useless plugin. It caused problems with my game, making it run 2 times faster. I recommend you install Keto Graphics Fix. Is that what it's called? I think that's what it's called. Give me a moment. Where is it? Game dev. No, it's not in game dev. Documents, RPG Maker. Where is it? Oh, Games, RPG Maker. JS plugins. I'm pretty sure it's called Keto Graphics Fix. Graphics Render Fix. Render Fix. I always link the tutorial for why you should implement this fix in my form signature, because everyone needs to apply it if they are making an MV game. How can he be a true fan of my content if he doesn't even click the links in my signature? What's wrong with him? Anyways, all right, there we go. Submitted the form. I've done his thing. I've helped him out. So yeah, let's throw on some music in the background. Although I do think I'm gonna wrap up soon, but we'll put some music on anyways. While we kind of do a chat here to wrap things up. Yeah, so overall, you know, I see the potential in the game. Oh, we should do a rating, huh? I don't have my rating list up. Alright, just drag this one up to the top. There we are, and automatic messiah. How the fuck do you spell this? Oop. Oh, I was right. Messiah. 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 I just need to switch the I and the A around. Date published. I don't know. I'll fill that out later. We played it on 2023-07-16. Demo game. It's a beta, technically an alpha, but I don't have an alpha automatic whatever thing set up. Is it RM? Yes. Is it a commercial game? I'm pretty sure it will be. Store page is not very quality. Polish is missing. Accessibility is missing because the option menu crashes. Clarity, I think I knew what to do. Balance is fine. I feel like the glowing ghoul was a bug or something. Pretty sure it's a bug. I sure hope they're not that fucking OP. Unique identity, it's got something going for it. So it's on the way, and I'm sure the accessibility is there. Oh, but technical, right. Sorry. I'm sure the accessibility is there. It's just, I couldn't actually access the accessibility because the game crashed. So, yeah. Yep. So anyways, okay, that was a pretty quick grade. It's a 3, but it's also an alpha. We can easily see that at least going up to a 4 with the accessibility being fixed. Hopefully, there's more technical stuff to it. It's not just the crash with the options. It's also because the weird menu problem. I know he's aware of it, but still, it is still a technical problem that exists. So even if he fixed the options problem, until the menuing thing where, like, when you leave the menu and the frame rate gets cut in, like, cuts into, like, a fifth of its full speed, that's a pretty technical problem that needs to be resolved. Once he can get that solved, and the options problem, then I think we'd be up to a 5 on that, and then polish is just, I don't know, polish is one of the hardest points to get, and I don't have any advice on how to get there. It's just cleaning up all the tiny little things. So, yeah. Alright, so anyways, so the overall thoughts, like I was saying before I got caught up with doing the grade, it has the potential. I see the potential there. I know Mr. Orc is maybe not quite on board, but I can see it. I saw the glimpse of it when I got low on health, and I felt like I actually had to think about what I was doing and consider all the skills that I had available to me. Oh, one thing I didn't mention in the feedback form, though, is that I guess the pacing was almost just right as far as combat goes, because when I got to that second floor, I was really feeling quite burnt out on combat. So actually, it's almost, I would actually not say that the pacing is perfect. I would say like it's just a little bit too much. I feel like there should be less combat encounters. It might be nice to have a little bit more exploration going on. The one downside of having everything highlighted is that the player doesn't really have to actually explore. They can just dart right to the thing, pick it up, and go. So it might, I might incentivize players to explore more by providing like alternate routes. You know, if you're in a police station, then there'd be other rooms for the player to explore. They may not lead to the main goal, the main destination of the dungeon, or whatever you want to call it, but they would at least maybe provide some extra ammo, some extra money, some new items, or whatever. But just exploration incentives would maybe be nice and might help break up the combat to give the player something else to do besides move and combat. So, yeah. I think that's pretty much all of my thoughts on that. Oh, you know, one thing I was going to say. I brought this up earlier. It's not going to be here. As I was going to show off that song that I'm pretty sure that he had never listened to. Let's see if I can bring that up. Is it something cool? I think it might be something cool. No. What did I call it? I think I called it Generate. There it is. Generate. Because a lot of the... I wanted to do some I wanted to practice some sound design stuff. And sound design and, well, I guess more like synth design. Synth design? That makes it sound like I'm actually making synths, but making synth patches sound design. Music sound design. And so I was exploring Generate, which is a really interesting synthesizer. And I made some unique, what I think is some pretty unique and interesting patches. So this whole song started off as me just exploring some sound design stuff. And at the top of the stream, I talked about it gives me automatic Messiah vibes. And if WooTBM would like this song to be finished, I'll gladly contribute to his project. It's kind of a slow burn of a song, but go ahead and let's give it a listen of what I have. It's incomplete. Because there's no reason for me to focus on this song because it doesn't fit Fiddle at all. So if there's no reason for this song to exist, then it's obviously not going to get finished. We can actually open up Generate and look at it do its generating things. It's pretty quiet still. I'm gonna kind of boost the volume. And that's pretty much all I've written up to. I really like the slow burn feel of it. It just kind of builds on top of itself from this really simple pattern that we have going on here, which was the generate patch that I was showing off. So, and then it just kind of builds on that. We get some, like, I guess you might call counterpoints to it here. Not that one, sorry. Here. Which is another patch I built in Generate as well. So yeah, those two combined kind of create this cool interplay with each other. And then finally, then from there, I mostly just build onto it with the guitar. So we have, probably better if we start here. Have this clean strum guitar. So yeah, I don't know. It gives me some Automatic Messiah vibes. It's a little bit more modern. Like some of the songs that were being used kind of gave me this like synthwave kind of 80s stuff, but this still I feel like kind of has that dystopian kind of wandering the wasteland vibe to it. So I don't know. It might be cool to put it in your game if you want that contribution. Then you know how to reach me. If not, I don't know. I'm also might actually, I can see a lot of potential for this song for like lyrics and stuff. So maybe one day I'll go back to doing album music again. I mean, I don't think that'll be anytime soon because still focused on, making my own game, which takes up way too much time to be able to do album music again. Also money, because I have to pay, musicians for album music. So I don't know, but maybe if this song doesn't get taken up, then maybe one day it will be a feature on a future Nephilim novel album. Anyways, that's probably enough for tonight. Slightly shorter of a stream, but not by much. So, anyways, thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you guys enjoyed Automatic Messiah. And let's wish Mr. Eric Baskin the best with his game dev endeavors, game dev adventures, and the future success of his game. It's got potential, but it's also got flaws. So, anyways, yep, best of luck, and I hope he gets lots of feedback from other folks besides just drunken me. So, anyways, next time... When is next time? Be the 22nd? Yeah, I think... Oh! Actually, I think I'm going out with friends the 22nd, so... Maybe no streaming next weekend. I'm not 100% sure. Or wait, is that on Friday? No, I guess you'll find out when I schedule the stream. If I schedule the stream, then you'll know that I'm going to be streaming. And if I don't schedule the stream, then you'll know I'm not streaming. So you'll find out. It's going to be luck of the draw. So anyways, thank you guys very much, and I will see you next time. Bye.